The Minecraft movie has blown up, breaking box office records and showing that the blocky world we all love works surprisingly well on the big screen. We got Jack Black's hilarious take on Steve, Jason Momoa as the rugged Garrett. Plenty of new faces, and all the creepers, zombies, and even a chicken jockey you could want. But among all the block-building chaos and adventure, many longtime fans noticed someone pretty important was mostly missing. Where was Alex? Sure, she shows up right at the very end in a post-credits scene, teasing big things for the future. But for a character who stands alongside Steve as one of the two most iconic faces of Minecraft, her complete absence from the main story left a lot of people scratching their heads. Why wasn't Alex adventuring alongside Steve and the others in the Overworld from the start? Let's break it all down. Who is Alex? Anyway, first off, let's establish just how important Alex is to the Minecraft universe, since some of you might not know. When Minecraft first launched back in 2009, Steve was the default skin. The blue shirt, the jeans, that slightly blank stare, he became instantly recognizable and beloved. But for years, he was the only option baked into the game. Then in 2014, Mojang introduced Alex. She wasn't just a reskin. She had a slightly slimmer character model, orange hair often tied in a ponytail, and a green tunic. The goal was simple: provide more diversity and representation right from the start screen. Players now had a choice, a different default avatar for their adventures if they wanted one. Alex quickly became just as iconic as Steve. She wasn't just the female Steve, she was Alex, a core part of Minecraft's identity. She's featured in merchandise, promotional material, and even crossed over into other massive games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, where you can choose to play as either Steve or Alex. For a huge group of the player base, Alex is their Minecraft character. They associate her with the game more than Steve. So when a big-budget movie adaptation was announced, many expected both Steve and Alex would be front and center, as a team exploring the Overworld. Seeing Steve get the full spotlight while Alex was saved for a last-minute tease felt, to some fans, like forgetting a fundamental part of Minecraft's appeal. But that's all because of the decisions around the movie's plot, crafting a good first impression. To understand why Alex wasn't a main character, we need to look at the story the movie decided to tell. Adapting Minecraft is no easy task. Unlike games with predefined plots and protagonists, Minecraft is a sandbox. Its story is the one you create for yourself. The filmmakers couldn't just replicate that open-ended experience. They needed structure and stakes, a clear A to Z plan for the plot. The Minecraft movie introduces us to characters from the real world, including Garrett, Henry, Natalie, and Dawn, who find themselves pulled into the blocky dimension of the Overworld. The central figure connecting both worlds is Steve. But this isn't just the default Steve from the game, he's given a backstory and motivations. He sought refuge in the Overworld to escape a mundane life, becoming this sort of legendary, slightly crazy figure within that world. The plot revolves around this specific group, their interactions, their quest, and mainly Steve's journey. He acts as their guide, their connection to the rules and dangers of this new reality they've entered. A major part of the movie focuses on Steve's internal conflict and his eventual decision at the end to leave the Overworld and return to his original life, seeking something he left behind. This creates a contained character arc for him within this first film, wrapping things up neatly. Adding Alex as another main character from the start would have complicated this narrative and made the movie harder to write. Would she also be from the real world? Would she be a native of the Overworld? How would her goals and motivations fit alongside Steve's and the newcomers? The script centers the adventure around Steve and the introduction of this specific group of noobs learning the ropes. It's a classic fish-out-of-water story, blended with a hero's journey for our blue-shirted, chubby hero. Introducing Alex would have messed up the pacing, needing more screen time to establish her backstory and relationships, knocking the core adventure off its rails. Let's be real though, we all know movie decisions aren't just about storytelling. They're about franchise building too. Difficult creative choices. The filmmakers opted for a highly simplified approach to the story. Rather than trying to cram every beloved element of Minecraft into the first movie, they built a specific story with a defined set of main characters to build things up for a sequel later. Think about the challenge. You have a game known for infinite possibilities. Do you try to show everything off at once? Do you focus on survival, crafting, exploring, fighting mobs, visiting the Nether, the end? Doing it all in one movie risks creating a chaotic, unfocused movie. The creative team, led by director Jared Hess, known for his quirky and crazy style in films like Napoleon Dynamite, decided to prioritize a logical, character-driven adventure first and foremost. Steve became the anchor point for the entire project. His comedic timing and words gave a strong center for the film to orbit around. Building the story around his journey offered a clear path for the future of the franchise. Saving Alex for later allows her to be introduced more deliberately in a sequel and give us a dedicated adventure, doing her character justice. And on top of that, there's the balance of fan service versus coherent storytelling. While hardcore fans might want to see every iconic element immediately, the movie also needs to appeal to a broader audience, including those unfamiliar with Minecraft, who just wanted to check out a new movie. The filmmakers decided it was strategically better to establish the world, the core mechanics, mining, crafting, building, fighting mobs, and Steve first, before adding more later. This lays the groundwork, making it easier to introduce other major figures like Alex in the future. One interesting detail that's easily overlooked is how the movie had to establish not just the characters, but also the rules and physics of the Minecraft world. showing how blocks work, how crafting functions, and how day-night cycles affect mob spawning, all while keeping the story moving forward at a steady pace. Adding another major character with a backstory and development might have pushed an already packed movie over the edge and made it unwatchable. But even with the clearest vision, getting a video game movie made isn't exactly a walk in the park. The long road to the big screen. It's also not helpful to ignore the long and difficult production history of the Minecraft movie. This film was in development for years, cycling through multiple directors and writers before Garrett Hess finally took the helm and brought it to completion. At one point, Sean Levy was attached, then Rob McElhenney, who wanted a very different and mature take, then Peter Sollett. Each change in leadership brought changes to the script and the overall vision for the film, so it kept getting bloated with details. Warner Brothers and Mojang spent nearly a decade trying to get this adaptation just right. This extended development cycle leads to scripts being rewritten, characters being added or removed, and priorities shifting throughout the production. It's possible that earlier versions of the script featured Alex in a more major role. However, the final version that went into production under Hess focused on the story we ultimately saw, and it did a great job with that. We also need to think about the limits when making a film in Hollywood. The movie has a runtime of around 100 minutes. That's not a huge amount of time to introduce the world of Minecraft, establish multiple characters, develop Steve's story arc, include action scenes, a final battle, and give another major character like Alex a meaningful storyline. Something had to give way to the rest of the movie. The trend in modern blockbuster filmmaking, heavily influenced by franchises like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, also favors using post-credit scenes to tease future developments. Introducing Alex in this way fits perfectly with that approach. It serves as an exciting Easter egg for fans, confirms her existence in this cinematic universe, and generates hype for a sequel which might come in a few years. Speaking of which, that post-credit scene definitely got people talking, the sequel setup. After the main story concludes, we see Steve, having returned to the real world, knocking on the door of his childhood home. The door opens, and we see a figure from behind, instantly recognizable by her green shirt and orange tied-back hair, Alex. Steve asks if she still has a chest he left there, presumably containing items related to the Overworld. She confirms she does and invites him inside, introducing herself. While we don't see her face, the voice is provided by comedic talent Kate McKinnon. This suggests they have big plans for the character, maybe with McKinnon taking on the role fully in the future to match Jack Black's funny portrayal of Steve. The fact that they cast a well-known name for just a simple voice cameo that lasts less than 30 seconds speaks volumes about their intentions for Alex in the franchise. The choice of Kate McKinnon is really interesting since she brings both comedy skills and a distinctive voice that would pair well with the first movie's comedic tone. This scene does more than just confirm Alex exists, though. It sets up the plot for a sequel by having Steve's journey continue in her house. Steve is back in the real world, but he's immediately seeking out something which we assume is connected to the Overworld, and Alex is his only point of contact. This implies the two will team up for the next adventure and need to take on a big threat to keep the real world safe. Director Garrett Hess has pretty much confirmed this. In interviews following the film's release, he said that Alex is the other massively critical character in Minecraft, and that she will be brought to the table without a doubt in a sequel. He acknowledged her importance and made it clear that her introduction was a planned stepping stone towards her playing a major role moving forward, and that they're just trying to finalize the contracts to make it all a reality. So her absence from the main film wasn't about forgetting her or diminishing her importance. It was about when and how to introduce her for maximum impact within the structure of a planned film franchise. They used the first movie to establish Steve and the world, and now the stage is set for Alex to join the adventure properly. But there's always the possibility, as much as we hope it's not the case, that the second movie doesn't happen. The delays in producing the first film isn't the best of track records. So what do you think about all this? Were you happy with how Alex was introduced? Or did you wish she had a bigger role in the first film in case part 2 fails? Let us know down in the comments below. If you liked this video, drop it a like and subscribe for more Minecraft movie content.